Om Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Pada Padme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu.
বন্দন ভববন্ধন জগবন্দন বন্দিত মায় নীরাঞ্জন নররূপধর নির্গুণ
Please unmute yourself.
জন অবধ
Yes. So, as discussed earlier, as announced earlier, the alternate Tuesday class will be on the gospel. It will be either on the life divine play of Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi, and alternate weeks, we will have the Gospel of Holy Mother. So, it's been a long time since we last took any class on the Gospel of Holy Mother. So nowadays, instead of Saturday, the gospel class will be held on Tuesday. So Tuesday is a day when we will discuss about Holy Mother. On one Tuesday, we will be discussing her divine play, her birth, and we have already covered, taken 8, I think we have covered 9 to 10 classes on the divine play of Sri Ma Sarada Devi. Now we will continue the gospel from where we left. Now we'll come to the reminiscences of which were recorded by Surendranath Sarkar. So these reminiscences were recorded in 1910. So he writes that he was during the Christmas holidays. He happened to meet Holy Mother for the first time at Kothar. Kothar is in Orissa right now, and we have a Ramakrishna Mission Center as well there in Kothar. So Hemanta Mitra and Birendra Mazumdar, they were two devotees from Shillong. They had come with Surendranath Sarkar. So all three of them, they had gone to Kothar because Holy Mother was staying in Kothar. Kothar was, Kothar is a place which has been sanctified by the holy visits of Sri Ma Sarada Devi. That is why that particular house has been handed over to the mission, and there is a full-fledged center now running. So Birendra Mazumdar and Hemanta Mitra were the two devotees who accompanied Surendranath Sarkar, and Sri Ramakrishna Bose, Swami Dhirananda, Swami Achalananda, Swami Atmananda, and Haraprasanna Mazumdar, who was a devotee of Nagmashe from East Bengal. In those days it was East Bengal, now it is Bangladesh. So Haraprasanna and Atmananda, Achalananda, Dhirananda, and Ramakrishna Bose, who was a relative of Balram Bose. So this house belonged, Kothar house in Kothar in Orissa, belonged to the Bose family, Balram Bose's family. So now and then some monks and Holy Mother used to stay there. There were other houses belonging to the Balram Bose's family. They were a very big joint family. They have a very big house, the Balram Mandir, which now it is known as Balram Mandir. We have a mission center. It is a very historic place because it is in this place, this Balram Bose's house, on 1st May, there was the Ramakrishna Mission was founded. So we are celebrating the foundation day on 1st May. Actually, the meeting was held on 1st May in Balram Bose's house because Belur Math was not there at that time. The land for Belur Math was not purchased. So the Ramakrishna Mission was founded by Swami Vivekananda, other brother disciples, and also householder disciples at the house of Balram Bose. So 125 years later now, we are celebrating the 125th anniversary of the foundation day of Ramakrishna Mission, which was registered later, but Ramakrishna Mission and Math, they were subsequently registered as twin organizations, though the ideals are same. So now this is Balram Bose's house, which has become a historical monument because of the foundation of the Ramakrishna Mission in that house, which later on, after many years, it was affiliated and it has become a full-fledged center of the Ramakrishna mission now. So we will be organizing, as you all know, I have posted all the details on WhatsApp. We will be having a 3-day event webinar, 3-day online webinar on this to commemorate the foundation 125th anniversary of the foundation of Ramakrishna Mission. We have eminent speakers from all the parts of the world, different continents, who will be speaking about the Ramakrishna movement and the Ramakrishna order, how it has spread over these last 125 years in different continents of the world. In South America, we have a representative Swami from South America who will be discussing the formation of the Ramakrishna movement, how it spread and how the centers were established there. In South America, in North America, which we have centers in Canada as well as in USA. There are quite a few centers in the United States of America. In fact, the first center, even before the mission was registered, was founded in, even before Belur Math was founded. The center at New York was started. It is a very old center. So Vedanta Society of New York is a very old center. So Ramakrishna movement, the international organization which is Ramakrishna Mission, has completed 125 years, and the webinar which we are going to conduct on 1st, 2nd and 3rd of May will highlight, I mean the monks who are speaking from different continents will highlight how this movement over the last 125 years spread. So we have from Australia, New Zealand and Fiji Islands, where there are many centers now. We have the Far East, Malaysia, we have Philippines and Singapore. So that is in the Far East, and of course Asia, we have in India, Bangladesh and many other countries. We have centers, and of course we have centers in Europe and also Russia, in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and of course United Kingdom, and a host of centers in Europe. So all this movement, how it gradually spread and how the message, it's not just a historical analysis of how things happen. Normally we tend to look upon organizations as having a history, but Ramakrishna order or the Ramakrishna movement is slightly different. It is the unfolding of the spiritual power of Sri Ramakrishna that we will be discussing. It is not just starting of certain centers, buying certain buildings, establishing a center and developing the activities. They are the outer gross aspect of the spread of Ramakrishna movement. But the essential point is the spread of spiritual values that we are doing. The work of the Ramakrishna mission or Ramakrishna Math or the Ramakrishna order is to spread spiritual values. It is a story, you can say, of 125 years of spiritual service. Though we do spiritual secular activities, apparently secular activities, but nothing is considered to be secular in any of our activities, whether we are running a school or a hospital, educational institution, or we are doing some relief work, mitigating the suffering of during calamities, natural disasters, man-made disasters. So all the relief and rehabilitation, the educational work, the tribal development work, the welfare work which is done in a spirit of service of God in man. So in that service, you have to include the service where ideas are spread. Most of our Western centers, if you see, they do not do the service activities which are very common in India and the other countries, where there are a lot of activities, medical activities, educational activities, relief activities, whereas here it is restricted to spread of ideas. Because depending on the need. Of course, some Western centers like Fiji, they run schools and they do a lot of activity because the country needs it. But whatever the geographical location where our centers are located, depending on the need of the people there, if a country is like South Africa, we have a lot of medical institutions. Of course, from Africa also we have a representative who will be explaining how 80 years, it has been almost 80 years since the first attempt was made to spread the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna and Vedanta and gospel and the Holy Mother and Swamiji and all the other disciples, and also Vedanta in Africa. So we have completed 80 years now. It's a significant period in the history of an organization. So this spiritual ministration, the spiritual ideas of spreading spiritual and cultural ideas to these different continents, especially a country like Africa, South Africa, Rhodesia, I mean now it is known as Zimbabwe. We have centers in Zambia, Lusaka. So there are countries all over the world. South America, we have Brazil, Argentina, many centers there. So all these, the Ramakrishna mission, the 125th anniversary, we are celebrating by highlighting these, how the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna spread. So, and through classes, through talks, now most of the talks are online. So many talks are available on the internet thanks to the social media. So also we get an opportunity to discuss the life and message of Sri Ramakrishna, his life and his message, the gospel, the life and message of Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, her divine play, her biography, as well as the gospel of Holy Mother. And also we have Swami Vivekananda's Raj Yoga, the message of Swami Vivekananda, and also his life. And of course we have on Saturday the Bhagavad Gita, which is the eternal scripture of India. And on the other alternate Saturday, we have the science of the Upanishads. So that is how we have planned all our 8 talks on 4 different days: Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll continue that. So now we will see how in this particular section of the gospel, when Swami Achalananda, Atmananda, and some other devotees, including the nephew of Balram Bose, Ramakrishna Bose, they were looking after the whole group which had come and were living in Kothar in Orissa. So at that time, Surendranath Sarkar, a devotee, an initiated devotee of Holy Mother, comes there with his friend Hemanta Mitra and Birendra Mazumdar. So it was about 1 p.m. when they reached Kothar, the place where Holy Mother was staying. So he is giving his reminiscence. So they had brought some fruits, different fruits, oranges, honey for Holy Mother for her service. And Ramakrishna Babu, Ramakrishna Bose carried those things which these devotees had brought. And after their bath, so they had come from maybe Calcutta. So since they had traveled a long distance, they were asked to take a bath, and they joined the whole group for the noon meal. So some of the monks who were present there, Achalananji and all, were whispering and saying, see, they have come from such a long distance, so they must be permitted to meet the mother. But they should not be allowed to talk much, because Holy Mother perhaps was taking some rest there. She was sick perhaps in 1910. She was quite old at that time. So they said, okay, they have come from a long distance, so we have to permit them to meet the Holy Mother, but they should not be talking too much. So Biren Babu, who was accompanying Surendranath Sarkar, overheard it and passed the message to Surendranath. He said, see, I told him, they are saying, the monks are saying that we should not be talking much because she is ill. Mother willing. Then Surendranath said, okay, let us leave it to the Holy Mother. If Mother wills, it will be done. The conversation will take place. We'll get the benefit of satsang. What is there to worry about? So when the companions proceeded for the meals, I told Ramakrishna Babu, you see, let them take food. But I have decided I shall not take any food before I pay my respects to the Holy Mother. That is normally the tradition in India. When you go to a holy place, when you go to meet a holy person, especially a person like Holy Mother, such a so the devotion with which people go, they feel that if we go to a holy place, we should be fasting. We should not be taking any food because they are gross things. We should do that after we pay our respects, pay our salutations to the Holy Mother. He said, I am not interested in eating now. The hosts were insisting that because they have come from a long distance, they should first eat and then perhaps they would be allowed to meet the Holy Mother, who was, and they were being told that you should not be spending much time, but you first take rest. But he said, it's okay, let my other two companions, if they are hungry, let them eat, but I will not eat till I see the Holy Mother. So Ramakrishna Babu, what can he do? He just carried this message to the mother, and immediately mother gave permission. How can a person, mother never liked her children to be hungry. So she said, if he is not willing to eat before meeting me, then let him meet me first. So on entering, he got the permission in this strange way. You see, because seeing his determination, seeing his devotion, how the Holy Mother perhaps felt, you see how much he is suffering. He's come all the way and he says he'll not eat before. So that is true devotion. That shows how Surendra Sarkar was keen to meet Holy Mother before he did anything. He had not come for a picnic. Most of the devotees, when they go to a holy place or a holy person, they are more interested in the comforts there, a good room, staying in a good hotel. Most of the pilgrimages which we do, unfortunately, the trend is that it has been converted into a tourist spot now, more than a pilgrimage. So there are people who very often talk about facilities. No doubt it is very important to have good facilities, but that is not all. That is what Surendranath Sarkar is showing here. I have come for a long distance. I'm tired, I know, but I have not come here for a picnic or for some this thing. I have come on a pilgrimage. I come with a particular intention, and if it means that I have to do a little tapasya, I have to suffer some inconvenience. That's why most of the pilgrimage places are very difficult to access. So people take a lot of pains to travel and to visit places. They climb mountains, especially they go on foot. So some kind of austerity or tapasya is necessary. So here also Surendra Sarkar, though he has traveled a lot, he said, okay, the food can wait. Maybe on a few days, if on one day, if I don't eat, if I eat late or I don't eat, what is the harm? But I have come here for a spiritual purpose, a specific purpose. So let me first accomplish that, pay my respects, then I'll go and have some refreshments. So on entering the inner courtyard where Holy Mother was staying, he saw, then perhaps because of Surendra Sarkar's insistence, the other friends also decided not to eat. Though it was meal time, they said, okay, we'll first go. And Holy Mother permitted them, seeing their devotion, seeing their determination to have her satsang. So she was sitting in the veranda, waiting for us, waiting for Surendra Sarkar. She said she was waiting for us, covering her body with a wrapper. That is what she did normally. She didn't expose herself. Normally, she would be very shy, and especially when male devotees came. And her face was also covered by the end of her sari. As I approached, Surendra Sarkar writes, as I approached the mother, Gulapma said, he's a mere boy, mother. This boy has come to pay his respects to you. Surendra Sarkar was very young at that time. So Golapma said, he's a small boy. I mean, he's not a mature person. He has just come, this boy has come to pay his respects to you. So Holy Mother, normally when if elderly people came, if then she would be very shy and cover. But if younger people came, she would consider them as children and not cover her face and all. So when she heard that they are young boys, Surendra Sarkar was young, she lifted the cloth from her face. So that's why they could clearly see the face of the Holy Mother. Since that occasion, the mother never kept her face covered in my presence. So she felt that he's a young boy, young person, so it's okay. He's like a son to me. So, unlike when other devotees came, she used to cover her face. She didn't do that. But Surendra Sarkar was overwhelmed. He could see, he could have darshan of Holy Mother. He felt prostrated flat on the ground and uttered, Sharanagata, that is, I take refuge in thee. So he had come with so much of faith that he just, even before Holy Mother could utter anything, he just fell flat. He did Sashtanga pranams and said, I am fully surrendering to you. So touching his head, touching my head, the mother blessed me. And even without him asking for that, she said, may you have devotion. So it's very rare that people normally have to ask and plead to Holy Mother, and then finally but here, just after doing pranam, she could see something deeply spiritual in this young boy. So she said, may you have devotion. Then the disciple asked, disciple means Surendra Sarkar, said, Mother, it is my desire to spend a few days here. But in a rich man's house like this, it is rather difficult to meet you. So that means this was, of course, a rich man's house. Balram Bose was a very rich zamindar. They had a lot of properties everywhere. But because they were very devoted, and he was very humble. But anyway, the house, as soon as the Surendra Sarkar, who maybe came from an ordinary family, he was overwhelmed. He was surprised to see that such a big house. But in a rich man's house, it is so difficult to meet you because there will be so many rich people and other people coming. That was his idea. He didn't know that mother did not make any distinction, but he thought perhaps we are humble people. Will we be allowed to meet you now and then? I had a desire to stay here. I will, uh, if you permit or if things are favorable, I can stay here. But will I be able to meet you? So mother said, I shall send for you. Now go, take your food and have some rest. So after the noon meal, then they went, they obeyed the mother. They have paid their respects to Holy Mother, and mother had said, mother assured them that whenever I'll send for you, you come. Now you go, take your food and rest. After the noon meal, they were waiting for mother's call. They rested. In the afternoon, the revered Golapma, who was a companion of Holy Mother, brought me a cup of pudding which had been offered to the mother. Some payasam was prepared, and as a prasad, Holy Mother had taken some of that pudding, and it became consecrated. And Golapma came and said, see, the mother has given you this consecrated pudding. That payas. A little later, someone came and announced, the mother is calling you. So Surendranath, they had this prasad, they had the prasad of Holy Mother. They were very happy, unasked for. She was doing this favor to Surendranath. So then he went and he saw her for the second time. After doing his regular salutations as he did in the previous visit, he said, he says, Mother, I want to speak a few personal things to you. But I hesitate to do so in the presence of others. There are so many people here. I have come to discuss something very personal. So can I do it in private? All right, said the mother. Please leave this place for a while. She said to the person who had called me. The person went away. There was one more person there. So he went away, and mother said, okay, he wants to ask some personal things. So let him, all of you leave, or you leave. Earlier, now Surendranath Mitra is explaining why he wanted to, what he wanted to talk. There were some strange things that happened in his life. He mentions that now. He says, earlier I had seen Sri Ramakrishna as well as the Holy Mother in my dreams. Now I disclose this to Holy Mother, to the mother, that he had seen her, and also Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, of course, was not in the physical form, but he had a vision of Sri Ramakrishna, and also he had seen mother, who was still alive. On hearing it, when she heard this, she said, yes, what you have seen is true. Now, she confirmed that that vision was not just a hallucination. Many people have hallucinations and they think they have had a vision, but seeing this, Holy Mother could understand by seeing the nature of his mind. She could read the mind and assure him that yes, what you see was true. You have seen us in a subtle body. Holy Mother was still alive, but she appeared to him. Now she says, then she said, what you have seen is true, but why have these other two devotees come with you? That Biren and the other devotee who had come accompanied them. Then the disciple asked, and Surena asked, Mother, if you are pleased, they want spiritual initiation from you. So mother said, well, you see me all tomorrow after your bath. So she perhaps readily agreed and asked all three of them to come after their bath for spiritual initiation. Then the disciple said, Mother, your holy feet were worshipped by Sri Ramakrishna himself. We too wish to worship them by offering flowers. So they had brought some flowers. And they had a desire that said, see, your feet are so holy that even Sri Ramakrishna offered, worshipped her feet by offering flowers, by doing Sodashi Puja. That is what she did. Holy Mother had to accept the puja of Sri Ramakrishna. So if he has done puja, it will be a great privilege if we were also allowed to offer some flowers. So, all right, your wish will be fulfilled. Now he's such a innocent boy that he's asking, where shall I find flowers? That he should have found earlier. Then Holy Mother was so compassionate and kind. You come, you want to do offer flowers, and you have not made any arrangements, and you are asking the person. That shows how simple Surendranath Sarkar, that young boy, was. He is asking Holy Mother, where shall I get flowers? I mean, where shall I get flowers so that I have a desire to offer you? But then the mother very calmly said, the attendants here will procure them for you. You don't worry. And they saluted the mother and returned to the parlor where they were staying. The Holy Mother had asked Surendranath, what do they want? But she did not even mention my case. She did not ask, what do you want? She said, what do they want? The two friends who had come with Surendranath Sarkar. So he was wondering why she is asking only about them. Does she know what I want, or why is she not asking me? After returning from the mother, I felt worried over this omission. He felt why I am left out. I was the one who convinced these people, or maybe brought these people. She is asking about them, but what about me? So at last I pacified myself, thinking that whatever mother's wills would come to pass. So I did not say anything because she had not mentioned him specifically. She said, let them come and take bath. I'll give. They want initiation. Okay, I'll give them. The next day after our bath, we kept ourselves in readiness with the flowers and other materials necessary for spiritual initiation, for mantra diksha. Then the Holy Mother said to us, come inside one by one. I was the first to enter. I mean, Surendranath, then he understood that Holy Mother knew that he had obviously come for diksha, but she wanted to make sure why the other two have come. And not only that, Surendranath Mitra had a vision of Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother Sarada Devi. So, and that was his question, private question, which he wanted to ask. Perhaps he felt hesitant to ask in front of others. But she said, okay, no, let you ask, and what you saw is true. Not only that, you will also, she hinted that he would be getting initiation on the next day. But she didn't say, she was just asking about the other two friends. Then the mother said to us, come inside one by one. And he was the first to enter. Normally, the mantra is given individually, not in a group. As I entered, she said, you will repeat the mantra that the master has given you. So she knew even before Surendranath he had said that he had a vision of mother and Sri Ramakrishna. But mother knew that Sri Ramakrishna had not only appeared, but given him Diksha as well. So, not Diksha, given him a mantra. He had repeated a mantra there. So she said, you will repeat the mantra that the master has given you. I too shall give you something. So he was to receive two mantras. With this remark, she gave me the great mantra. Said, you have to repeat the mantra you got in your vision from Sri Ramakrishna directly, and I am also giving you another mantra. You repeat both of them. Later, they both worshipped. Of course, the other two friends were given mantra by Holy Mother, but Surendranath Sarkar was asked to do the mantra he received in a vision or a dream from Sri Ramakrishna himself, and also the new mantra which she gave. So later on, they had brought flowers which were procured by the other devotees staying there. So they took those flowers and they worshipped the holy feet of Mother. She accepted the offering standing. So she was sitting when she gave Diksha, but she stood up and accepted the flowers that they offered. The Holy Mother replied, offer the flowers without any mantra. That will do. Normally, when we do ritualistic worship, there are certain mantras which we have to chant before offering. But she was so compassionate and kind. He said, just offer. You don't have to chant any mantra. That will do. I offered the flowers at her feet, saying, Jai Ma. So, Hail Mother. Jai Ma was that was the utterance, because he felt he should say something. But Mother said, don't have to say any mantra. So, for him, the mantra was Jai Ma. I mean, with that, he offered flowers. So that is how we normally say Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Ma, implying that we are surrendering to you. We are offering the flowers at your feet. We are offering everything that we do. Whatever we do, whatever work we do, whatever activities we do, we have to develop a habit to offer it at the feet of Holy Mother. That's why now and then, after completing a sentence or after doing some activity, after doing some puja, after cooking, after everything, you can just, if not, because the mantra you cannot repeat loudly, you can do it mentally, but formally you can just say Jai Ma or Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai, or something like that. That is a habit which in the Ramakrishna order, we just say Hail Mother or Hail Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Ma, like that. So there was one stramonium flower in that. Among all the flowers, there was one stramonium flower. So pointing to that flower, she said, don't offer this one. Stramonium is normally offered to the Lord Shiva. So somehow she said, take out that flower. You offer all the other flowers, but the stramonium flower you don't offer. She says, don't offer this one because this is used for the worship of Lord Shiva. So anyway, that was her wish, and they did exactly as she told them. Then Surendranath Sarkar presented her with some pranami, gave a rupee, and also a sari that I had brought for her. So though he was young and he was not earning much, he was already in financial difficulties, but he brought a sari and offered 1 rupee. Was a big amount in those days. But anyway, he was going to offer, and this the mother said, you are already in financial difficulties. Why do you give money and this sari? Strange enough, although there was no talk about the wants in my household, how did mother know? The mother seemed to know everything about it, because he had not disclose to anyone that he was already in financial difficulties. The whole family was in financial difficulties. So, see, he was wondering, how did mother know about my difficulties, and how can she say that you don't have to offer all these things, you are already in financial difficulties? But he still said, Mother, it belongs to you, and it is only being presented to you. It is already yours. That means his spirit was that the whole world, the whole Prakriti is yours. Whatever we have, it's our privilege to possess, and we are just returning what we got from you. If a small fraction of what we earn is used for your service, we can consider ourselves fortunate. So he was very humble. He said, we may not be earning much, but whatever we have, we are lovingly giving it to you. So please accept. It belongs to you. So that kind of humility Surendranath Sarkar had. And at this, the Holy Mother observed, oh, what a devotion, my dear. So I said, Mother, devotees call you Kali, Adya Shakti, Bhagavati, etc. It is mentioned in the Gita that the saints Ashita, Devala, Vyasa, and others called Krishna as Narayana himself. Sri Krishna himself told this to Arjuna. So all the Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, the great rishis, they worship Ishvara or Krishna as Narayana himself. So by mentioning it himself in the Gita, the idea has been still more emphasized. So in the case of Krishna, we know because he himself declared, as an avatara would do, that he is Ashita, Devala, Vyasa, and all worship called Krishna as Narayana. So that means he has made a self-declaration. By mentioning himself in the Gita, the idea has been still more emphasized. So that gives it more authenticity. If Lord himself accepts that he is divine, he is an incarnation of Narayana, still he says, I believe everything that you have told about, or that I have heard about you. So he says, because Sri Krishna himself declared his divinity to Arjuna, it became easy for him to believe. He did not believe in hearsay or somebody else saying that Krishna is Narayana himself. No. So he says, I have also heard so many things about your divinity, that you are Bhagavati Devi, Kali, Adya Shakti, Bhagavati, and all those things people are addressing you. But I want to, I will be happy if you please speak of it yourself. Then all my doubts will be dispelled, because I want to hear this from you directly, whether what the other people say is true, whether these things are true. Please let me know from your own mouth. I want to hear. Then Holy Mother very graciously said, yes, they are true. They are true, said the mother. After this, I never asked mother any question relating to her real nature. He was just waiting, and mother knew. Once I assertively tell him, yeah, that is true, then this person was already having a wonderful faith, so much of humility, so much of faith, so much of concern, so much of self-sacrifice this disciple had. So anyway, the disciple said, I said, Mother, I want this much. I'm just asking you for a small thing. I want to see my chosen ideal, see the devotion. He is not asking for any worldly prosperity, worldly gain, or even he did not even talk about his financial difficulties. Normally people, when they go to holy places or holy people, they expect that by their blessings, let things be kind to us, let things around us, our possessions and our money and all those things, let them increase, or at least let us live comfortable life by the grace. So that's why when people go to such devotees, when they go to a holy person, they said, please bless us so that we can be happy. All they want is happiness. But Surendra Sarkar is totally unconcerned about that. In fact, he did not even bother to tell Holy Mother that there is some struggle in the home, in the household. Though he's earning money, perhaps they are spending a lot. They have to spend a lot because of the large size of the family. Whatever be the reason, he never even told the Holy Mother that he has financial difficulties. But Holy Mother, of course, could understand everything. She said, no, no, you don't have to give this coin or sari. Why should you bring all these gifts? You keep it. That was the love mother had for her children, especially those who came only for some grace, only for spiritual wealth. They are the true devotees. So he says, I only, mother, I just want this much. I want to see my chosen ideal, that is Sri Ramakrishna, touch him, talk with him as vividly as I now see you and talk with you. Kindly bless me. This is the greatest thing which a true bhakta, because he knows if you have the Lord as your eternal companion, then what will you lack in life? Whatever is necessary, as Sri Krishna has promised in the Gita, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam, I will take care of whatever you need. God does not ever take care of our greed. That is one thing we have to understand very clearly. God does not, you or one should not even expect that the Lord, in whichever form we worship him, will take care of our greed. If he does that, then he is not the Lord. We may pray to other deities or pray to other smaller, lesser gods if we want wealth, if we want prosperity and all those things. There are people who do it. That's why they are happy if they pray to the nakshatras, they pray to the Shani, and they do this and that, and so many rituals Hinduism has created. Every religion, it is there. But there are a lot of ritualistic worship going on because people love their possessions, people love their wealth, people love all these gross things so much that they say if we go to God, if we go to any holy person, if he can give us these things which we want, then it is worth going. Whereas there will be only few people like Surendranath Sarkar who really go because he knows this is not the thing that God will ever grant. Those who know, those who are wise, they should know that God may definitely supply you with what you need, but the Lord will never supply you with never fulfill your greed, because he knows that greed will ultimately destroy the devotee. So he is very keen. The Lord is very keen. He is very concerned, and that is why he gives only, he takes care of only the need. Yoga Kshema Vahamyam, I will take the responsibility. As Sri Ramakrishna told Naren when he was suffering, there were financial difficulties. His father had died and they were being almost asked to leave the home. I mean, his mother and brother and sister, they were practically going to lose their own house. So the relatives were so bad and so evil natured. So Swami Vivekananda was in a very deep sort of dilemma. What should he do now? On one side, his family is starving, struggling to survive because of the death of the father. On the other side, he wants to take this wonderful message of Sri Ramakrishna and take it all over the world. But so he goes to Sri Ramakrishna. Though no, doesn't go there with greed. Unlike other people, other devotees, Swami Vivekananda Narendra did not go with greed. All he wanted is some kind of assurance from Sri Ramakrishna or the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna says, I can't pray for these things. You go. You pray to the Mother, whatever you need, she will give you. But he cannot pray. Then he somehow thinks that Sri Ramakrishna is playing some trick. So he goes, see, I went 3 times. I could not ask for anything. I can't. I simply felt ashamed that how can I ask these trivial things from God? So I came to you. Then Thakur blessed him. He said, oh, they will not suffer from plain clothing and food. That is the bare minimum. So the needs are somehow or always fulfilled if the devotee is true, if he has true devotion and he wants the highest, then his needs will be fulfilled, but not his greed. So he's saying, I just want to see my chosen ideal, touch him, talk with him, because then I will get some support. It's not enough if our needs are fulfilled. Even a poor person, his needs are fulfilled, he gets, but that doesn't mean he is devoted. But here he wants something. He doesn't want wealth, or he doesn't want his greed to be fulfilled. He has, in fact, if he had greed, he would not have asked this. He said, I just want my chosen ideal to be with me. That's a legitimate demand which one can have, that I can touch him, I can talk with him. Then what do I lack? As vividly as I see you, now I have to come all the way to Kothar or wherever you are, and for your blessings. But please see to it that my Ishta, who is the soul of my soul, he is always with me. I can see him whenever I want, touch him, talk with him, as just as I talk with you. If that is there, then what else I need in life? So he was such a wonderful devotee. Then mother immediately says, well, your wish will be fulfilled. Normally, if she had the least doubt that this person is asking for spiritual blessings, but he, in the heart of his heart, he is having a desire, he has a lot of greed, then she would not have agreed. She would have just said, okay, you will get what you want, but she would not promise that one will get such a great blessing, that the Lord will always be with you. Mathur Babu, in fact, when he was young, somebody had told him that your horoscope is so nice that the Lord will always protect you and guide you. And it happened, though it happened much later when Sri Ramakrishna, he served Sri Ramakrishna, no doubt, but Sri Ramakrishna was taking care of every need of his disciple, Mathurnath. So he said, his Guru will take care of you. Guru will do all the things for you, because you are born like that. You are born with that grace. You have done something good in your previous life. So here also mother is saying your wish will be fulfilled. She is a guru, of course, but seeing that he is not asking for any worldly benefit, she is very pleased and said, yes, if this is what you really want, and since you are sincere, you will definitely get it. And once he knew that if one gets the touch of God, the protection of God, then what else do we really need? That's why when Arjuna was in the battlefield, before they went to the battlefield, um, Sri Krishna, who was most of the people, relatives of both Kauravas and Pandavas, were engaged in the fight. So they were going to different relatives, asking them to join them. The Pandavas had few friends, they joined them. So now they decided Krishna is also a relative of ours. Let us go, and definitely he will help us. So they go. Krishna was deliberately acting, and out of arrogance, Duryodhana goes and sits near the head of Sri Krishna. Whereas Arjuna was very humble, he goes and sits near the feet. Now you see the fun. If you sit near the head, there is less chance that you will see him, because you have to turn your head. But he could see Arjuna first because he was sitting near the feet. So as soon as Sri Krishna got up, the first thing he saw Arjuna, and he said, ask what have you come for? Why have you come here for? Then Duryodhana was very angry. He said, I came before him. Why didn't you ask me? He said, you are sitting near my head. Because he felt that it would be an insult if he sat near the feet, whereas Arjuna was humble. Then Sri Krishna says, no, in any case, Arjuna may have come later, but he was the first person I saw. So I will ask him I will allow him to ask the favor first. And Duryodhana Duryodhana was terribly upset. He said, I came first and you are... but anyway, what was the condition? What was the Lord offering them? He said, see, I am alone. I have my brother and the whole Yadava army. So now I will make you an offer. He first asked Arjuna. He said, I will be on one side, that is Krishna, and on the other side, Balarama and the whole army. The whole army. So Duryodhana was very much afraid. He was thinking, if this Arjuna asked, because he has been asked to request first, And if he asks for the whole army and Balrama, then I am gone, because what will I do with just Krishna? That was his arrogance. He was just seeing, I mean, he was thinking that the army is much more important right now because it's a battle. Whereas Krishna is saying, on one side I'll be there, on the other side my whole army. So you choose. Arjuna, where he was full of devotion and he knew, and he prayed to Lord Krishna. He said, it is enough if you come. But he had told him that, you see, I will be there on one side, but I will not fight. I will not lift a single weapon. So that means even if he is powerful, apparently Duryodhana thought, what is the use of having somebody who will not touch a weapon? And on the other side, the brother of Krishna and whole Yadava army. Oh, it is such a wonderful thing. And this Duryodhana laughed and thought, what a fool this Arjuna is. A person who will not lift even a single weapon, and is offering himself, and he is accepting him rather than accept. He says, anyway, even if he has asked first, he has asked the wrong thing. He said, oh, this is what I wanted. Okay. So that is how the Lord tempts devotees. He tempts devotees. On one side, he offers the whole army and tempts them by, because Duryodhana was greedy, he went for that, he went to fulfill his greed. Whereas Arjuna knew that what I need is spiritual power. And the Lord himself, he says, I am on one side. If I give up the Lord, then what remains? Whatever I gain in the world, everything will be snatched away. Everything is temporary. But if the Lord himself is my companion, as Surendranath Sarkar says, I want to see my chosen ideal, touch him, talk with him as if he's alive. That is what sadhana is all about. Though we may not succeed in this life, but if we have a firm conviction that through all our actions, through all our life, whatever we do, good or bad, small or big, why not as well do small things and be happy with our needs being fulfilled? If that attitude comes, like Surendranath Sarkar's, then our life will change. Our life will change because we have chosen the right thing, just as Arjuna chose Sri Krishna. Here he is saying, Mother, I want only this much. I want to see my chosen ideal. I want to touch him, talk with him as vividly as I now see you, and talk with you. So kindly bless me. And mother immediately said, your wish will be fulfilled. So here we see that just the laptop has run out of charge. Yeah. So anyway, Holy Mother immediately blesses Surendranath Sarkar, and the next day when Surendranath Sarkar takes leave, he saluted the Holy Mother before taking leave of her. I saw her smiling face and her very graceful appearance. Golapma very strongly suggested to me, why not visit Puri before going back home? I mean, Kothar is a little away from Puri. He said, since you have come all the way to Orissa, why not go? Why not go? Just to tempt him, Golapma said something which was very logical. Anybody who goes to a place near Puri, definitely we would like to visit Puri. But you see the devotion, the firm devotion to the Guru. He said, what more would I see? The holy feet of the mother are 1,000,000 times more holy than Puri to me. I don't need anything. When the mother heard this, she intervened. Well, you can, leave it. You don't need to go there. So she confirmed, she agreed that you don't have to go to Puri. So that was the power of Divine Mother, Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, how she could even say that you don't have to go to Puri. If you have this devotion to the Guru, then if you have found your refuge in your Ishta and the Guru, then what else do you want? That is why that famous song is there, Guru Rangri Padme Manaschena Lagnam Tatakim, 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 Tatakim. That is the immortal him. He said, you may have everything in the world. You may have name, you may have fame, if you may have wealth, you may have everything that is desirable in the world. And you may have so many other things, the goodwill of people and all those things. So each verse says that if in spite of that, you don't have devotion at the feet of your guru and your ishta, tata kim means what is the use of that? What is the use of that? So this Sarvasthananda Sarkar is taking leave, saying that I have come to take your blessings. I've got it. I've got the mantra. What, and a promise from you that Sri Krishna will be with me always. What more do I want? I am not bothered to go to Puri and other places. And Holy Mother very sweetly said, okay. But Gulapma was insisting, but Holy Mother intervened, said, no, 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 you leave it. You forget about it. You don't have to go. You go home now. So we will conclude now. If there are questions, we'll just see. And since we are okay, somebody has said that she is not getting messages because the number has changed. I will note down that number, and I will send you the messages on that new number. So if you can please send this number which you have mentioned here to your old number, then I will change it so that you will get regular messages. The new number which you have mentioned in the chat, please send it on the old number. So now Thursday, because we have a very big event lined up, I may not able to take the classes on this Thursday and Saturday, because Sunday we need to do a lot of preparations. We have invited 9 Swamijis from different parts of the world. They are sending their presentations and they are sending some photos and all, which I have to display when they are talking. So each one of them will speak for about 40 minutes, then there will be question answers, very interesting anecdotes from Africa, how the movement started. So they have to cover a lot of things. So some of them have requested me whether I could share the screen and show the photos. So that requires a little preparation. So I may not be able to. I will inform if I take the class on Thursday and Saturday, I'll inform you. But as of now, I feel I need some time to prepare for this event. So we will compensate it by having events on first, second, and third. Especially first and second, I think many of you can attend. But third, maybe there may be a problem because it's a working day, and the sessions, because the speakers from Australia and the Far East, they find the morning convenient. So it is from 10:30 onwards, 10:30 to 11:30, 11:30 to 12:30 and 12:30. So it may be a bit inconvenient. Of course, the people from India and Far East will be attending, but people from UK and Europe and America, of course, if they find it convenient, they can attend. It will be nice if you attend live on Zoom, though we have a limited capacity of 100 people. So the it will be on first come, first served basis. After the 100 participants are exhausted, rest of them can go to YouTube live. We have sent the links, both links. YouTube also, you can attend the talk and ask questions in the chat. Somebody will be asking the speakers who will be speaking on these 3 different days. The questions will be whichever questions, if you ask it in the chat here in Zoom or in the YouTube live also, you can ask. So we will ask the Swamis those questions and they will answer for about 15 minutes. So talk will be around 45 minutes and 15, because there will be a lot of curiosity. People would like to know how the Ramakrishna movement is spreading in all parts of the world. So I would request all of you, because this is a rare opportunity where we are gathering together 9 Swamis. So hope you will all attend these sessions wherever you are, whether you are in India, whether you are in America or Europe or any other place. The time is such that most of the talks can be attended by all. In case you miss it, of course, it will be there on YouTube live. Later on, you can watch, but it is better if you participate so that you can ask questions. So now I will conclude. Yes, I know your previous number. You please send the new number as well on your previous number, WhatsApp. My old WhatsApp is still working. So if you are not getting messages, you send the new number, I will change it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.